Phoenix in 6.
Half the Bucks in the series.
You're delusional.
Your basketball card should be revoked.
I need to see more.
Yo! Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Sports Unders 80. I am Derek Sams, and welcome back to the show. Today, guys, we have another NBA episode, and today we're discussing the Washington Wizards. And so far this season, the Washington Wizards are off to a very hot and surprising start, as they are tied for first place in the Eastern Conference, only behind the Chicago Bulls and the Brooklyn Nets. And the Washington Wizards are defying all odds and pretty much proving everybody wrong, because everybody, including myself, thought that the Wizards would be a playing type team, not in the position where they would be a top seed in the Eastern Conference. But there are a multitude of reasons why the Wizards have been so successful this season. And one of those reasons is because of their depth. So far this season, the Wizards have around 6 players averaging around double-digit numbers, scoring-wise, and you'll get that Russell Westbrook trade where you traded Russ to the Lakers for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, and Montrezl Harrell, former Sixth Man of the Year, by the way. You know, we thought the Wizards were heading in a rebuild type of direction, but right now, looking at how both trades going, it's looking like a pretty good trade for the Wizards. And getting more depth has translated to a very efficient offensive team for the Wizards, because last year, even with the Wizards last year finishing third in points per game, they were 17th in offensive efficiency. Now you're averaging 8.2 less points per night, but they're getting an even spread of shots. So look at those off-season pickups. Like I mentioned Kuz, I mentioned KCP, I mentioned Trez, but let's not forget the important impact that Spencer Dinwiddie has made. The Washington Wizards made a huge bargain. They took a huge risk by signing Spencer Dinwiddie after knowing that Dinwiddie pretty much missed half of the season last year when he was a Brooklyn Net due to I believe, an ACL or MCL injury that prohibited him from playing the rest of the season. And with that being said, with the amount of high quality shots on the opposite side of the ball, that leads to great defense. And the Wizards now have the mentality that defense wins games, the defense wins championships, something we haven't seen from the Wizards in a long, long time. And last season, the Wizards ranked 20th defensively, and now they're ranked, I believe, tied for 5th in the NBA. Kyle Kuzma, who has made a huge leap defensively. But then you have other guys like Montrezl Harrell and Bradley Beal, some of your best players on your team, putting up career numbers on the boards and in blocks as well. You know, and let's not forget, they're doing this without a guy like Thomas Bryant, who is a complete force on the defensive side of the ball. But if you bring me the question whether or not the Washington Wizards are contenders or pretenders, I will lean more in the direction of a pretender, with all due respect. No diss to the Wizards, because I love what they're doing so far this season. But I look at all these teams in the East. The East is just stacked this year. Looking at teams like Brooklyn, looking at teams like the Bucks, even despite the injury concerns. Looking at teams like Philly, because right now they're dealing with injury and COVID, right, and safety and safe and healthy protocols. And then Miami, right, and I think Miami are the team to beat in the East. Then you look at other teams, other young teams in the East, Boston and Atlanta and New York, and I feel like the Wizards are in that mix. But the question is, can they sustain this type of hot start, can sustain this run? And looking at their schedule, I believe they can, because the next couple games they're playing a lot of lackluster teams, lackluster non-playoff making teams, lottery teams, right? I believe the only playoff team you face in, I believe, your next 5 or 6, 7 games is probably my Dallas Mavericks. So the Washington Wizards can really sustain this hot start going into Christmas and going into next year in the month of January. But let's see. One of the other main reasons why the Wizards are so successful is Wes Unseld Jr., your new head coach, first year as a head coach in the NBA, and Wes Unseld is bringing this new energy to this Wizards team that Scott Brooks couldn't. He's redefining the culture for this Wizards team, and this front office for this Wizards team, going on with head coach Wes Unseld Jr., It's remarkable. And if I'm the Wizards, if I'm Tom Shepard, if I'm Wes Unseld Jr., I need to keep the squad together as long as possible. But the crazy thing is that the Wizards are doing this without Rui Hachimura and Thomas Bryant, like I mentioned earlier. And they're doing this also without Davis Bertans performing at a very high level. Because right now, by the way the Wizards are playing, or excuse me, the way the Wizards are paying Davis Bertans, is still not contributing to how great he plays. But overall, this Wizards team right now may actually be a dark horse team in the East. Going into the season, I never knew that the Wizards were going to be this great of a team. And when I mean this great of a team, I knew they could put the ball in the basket. I knew how much talent they had on the offensive side of the ball, whether it was Bradley Beal, who was second in scoring last year, only behind Stephen Curry. Then you have guys like Spencer Dinwiddie, who was a phenomenal playmaker and can score and can put the ball in the hoop as well. Kyle Guzman can too, and KCP is a sharpshooter. And you go down the roster, they have plenty of offensive talent. But defensively, I did not think going into the season that the Wizards were going to be this elite on the defensive side of the ball. If you brought me the question that whether or not the Wizards were going to be a top 5 defensive team in the league, I would have never thought in a million years that that would happen. But the way Wes Unseld Jr. has transformed this team, he's bringing a new demeanor. He's bringing a new mojo to this Wizards team, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. The Wizards are right now a dark horse team in the East, and when I mean dark horse, I don't mean a playoff team. Excuse me, I don't mean a play-in team like the past couple of years. I think the Wizards have a possibility to be a top 7, top 6 team, maybe even to an extent a top 5 team in the East. Now, could this translate to the Wizards making it past possibly the first round of the playoffs if they do make it? I don't necessarily think so because they're not at that point yet. But are they a playoff team? 110%. If the Wizards are not a playoff team, it's really a complete failure. If with all due respect, Marcel Jr. Wes Unseld Jr. is off to a phenomenal start as a head coach, and we're getting forward to the great things he has to do with this franchise. And even though the Wizards are taking less shots, and even though Bradley Beal's numbers scoring wise are taking a pretty big dip, statistically, the Wizards are playing great basketball, and that's the reason why Bradley Beal wanted to stay. That's the reason why Bradley Beal was loyal to this and committed to this Washington Wizards franchise because he knows how much potential this Wizards team has with all the young players, with all the young with their young core, with their depth, with their talent, with their coaching. The Washington Wizards can put together a great season and a great run. And the Washington Wizards right now may be the dark horse in the East. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. And also make sure you hit that button for post to get your favorite video anywhere from the channel. 900 subs on the way, so make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. With that being said, this has been Sports Hunters 8, and I am Derek Sams, and we will see you on the next episode, guys. Until then, peace.